thank you so much for coming in the windy weather. This is our 25th LiveRead LA, which is, yes, and they said it wouldn't last. Actually, they still say that. Anyway, thank you so much. We have a great insider tonight. Elise Henderson is here. There is Elise. Thank you for coming, Elise. Elise is president of TV at MRC, and if you don't know what that means, we will all find out later on when we do the Q&A. Where are our winning writers? We have, there's Natalie down here, so we can congratulate Natalie. Thank you, Natalie. And we have Mads and Kristen over there. Thank you. So, we'll get going. Actors with Sheltered, which is a TV pilot.
Sheltered Pilot by Mads Gauger and Kristen Mary Leonard. Exterior residential street, morning. A middle-class neighborhood, calm, quiet, orderly. But one house stands out among the rest. Bikes litter the unmown lawn and the paint is starting to chip. This is the Hope Springs group home. Exterior front door, morning. Roz, 30s, Latina, too busy for makeup, sleep, or your bullshit, fiddles with keys as she presses a phone to her ear. Her shirt says, Hope Springs, where youth matter.
Come on.
Click.
Becky here.
Shit!
She shoves the door open. Interior entryway continuous. Roz enters, kicking the door shut behind her.
Leave me a message and I'll get back to you as soon as I'm done with my self-care. Namaste.
The voicemail continues as she glides into the common area, continuous. She stops at a chalkboard where someone has written, "We all have the power to realize our dreams." "In bed" has been scribbled underneath. She wipes away the last two words with her sleeve. Roz rolls her eyes, forces a smile.
Hi, Becky. This is Roz.
She heads toward the kitchen, continuous.
Just following up on the apartment tour last week. Loved your place. The vibes were like, I mean, wow. Yeah, so let me know how the application looks and namaste.
Roz hangs up and turns around to see Denise, a confident, middle-aged African-American woman, also Roz's boss.
Don't judge.
No judgment, just concern. But if you start doing yoga, I'm staging an intervention.
Hot yoga, Arctic yoga. If it gets me a new propert, I'm downward, dog.
What happened to the other place?
Oh, I fell through. Did Sir come home last night?
No. If she takes off again, we'll have to give her bed to someone who'll use it.
I'll talk to her.
A banging sound comes from upstairs.
And they're up.
Interior boys' hall, morning. Tyler, 17, African-American, a lovable wise ass, pounds on the bathroom door.
Come on, man.
Interior bathroom continuous.
1 second.
Patrick, white, 15, wannabe skater boy with shoulder-length hair, admires himself in the mirror.
Sick.
He pulls up his shirt, and we see he's wearing what looks like a long sports bra, a chest binder. Patrick pulls his shirt down and opens the door. Tyler sidles past and begins to brush his teeth.
Tell me I don't look good. You don't look good. You didn't even look.
Tyler stops brushing his teeth and looks at Patrick.
You look great.
Tyler continues brushing and then stops.
Is that my shirt?
Patrick bolts. Tyler runs after him. Interior Wolfgang's room continuous. Patrick runs past the open door, followed by Tyler. Inside stands Wolfgang, 16, bright, bossy, and immaculately dressed, holding a book.
Animals.
The camera turns around and enters Jerry's room, continuous, where Jerry, 14, Latino, an adorable oddball just shy of puberty, searches through a messy room. An empty suitcase sits on the bed.
Cheeto?
Jerry picks up a shirt and finds Cheeto, his lizard. He puts him in a shoebox and skips out the door, wiping camera and taking us to the kitchen, continuous, where Denise sips coffee while Roz flips pancakes.
I need to leave early today. Amber has an appointment.
How's she doing?
She's doing. Sometimes I think I need a case manager for my own kid. Speaking of which, I hired a new case manager.
Roz's face falls.
I'm sorry, I know you wanted it, but they won't budge on the licensing requirement. So unless you can provide a bachelor's degree in the next 5 minutes, my hands are tied.
So who'd you go with? The 22-year-old Girl Scout or the guy who listed foosball under his professional skills?
Look, I know you're upset.
Upset? Why would I be upset? Just because the organization where I work for a minimum of 60 hours a week and which sheltered me during my delicate formative years values a piece of paper more than my lifetime of experience?
Something like that. Is this a bad time to tell you that you'll be training her?
This is cruel and unusual.
That line didn't work when you were 16, and it won't work on me now.
It did a little bit.
Look, these kids don't just need you, they need a lot of people, and the best way for you to help them right now is to help her be good at her job.
Fine. When she start?
Today.
What?
Jerry bounds into the room.
Breakfast?
You got it, bud.
Interior kitchen a little later. Roz sets down a stack of pancakes in front of Jerry.
Made your favorite.
Jerry beams. Tyler and Patrick thunder down the stairs.
No running in the house.
Tyler shoves Patrick out of the way as he pulls a pack of Eggos out of the freezer and slams them in the toaster.
Dips. No fair.
Okay, first of all, pancakes.
Roz gestures to the pancakes on the table.
And second of all, if you two can't share, I'm buying muesli for breakfast from now on.
Wolfgang enters.
Finally, something edible.
He pulls a box of grape nuts out of the cupboard. The waffles spring up in the toaster. Tyler hands one to Patrick.
Seriously? Homemade breakfast? Anybody? Just more from you and me, I guess.
Jerry giggles and spears a flapjack.
Yum. Are we doing anything today?
I got an appointment with your mom later.
Tyler cackles. Patrick shoves him.
Oh, is that what you're calling your hand now?
Guys, cut it out!
Why would he call his hand Debbie?
See? You're corrupting young minds. To answer the original question, we're going to have a little going away celebration for Jerry. Then we're going to go to the mall so that you can get your haircut.
Yes!
And you can get some clothes for your hearing tomorrow.
Do we all have to go? I have homework.
School doesn't start till tomorrow. What the fuck do you have homework?
Mr. Walters assigns his honor students summer reading. I couldn't decide on just one book, so I decided to read them all.
So I decided to read them all. Tyler minds pushing glasses up his nose and Patrick laughs.
Sorry, I forgot it's rude to talk about reading in front of the illiterate.
Wolfgang drops his spoon into his bowl like he's dropping a mic.
The fuck you just say to me?
Boys, enough!
Roz's mom voice works. Tyler and Wolfgang glare at each other. The table is uncomfortably silent. We get the feeling this happens a lot. Finally.
Have you started packing?
I need to do laundry first.
I thought you did last night.
I did, but now I need to do more.
Roz is skeptical, but there's nothing she can do.
All right, but get to it as soon as you're done eating. Call Denise if you need anything. Boys, I'll be back in a minute.
Roz heads for the door.
We know you're taking a smoke break.
I would never.
I bet you she vapes.
Exterior of the shelter moments later. Roz heads towards her car. The next door neighbor, Mr. Swanson, 50s, notices her and approaches. Hey,
Mr. Swanson, how are you this morning?
one of your children was in my yard last night. It's called private property for a reason. Next time I'm calling the police.
I'm sorry, Mr. Swanson. Did she break something?
No.
Was anything taken?
No. She left a pack of cigarettes, though.
Huh. Let me make sure I understand you. You're going to call the cops on a child for cutting through your yard and leaving no trace except for a pack of Pall Malls?
I'm just looking out for the neighborhood. He storms off.
Prick.
Roz opens her trunk and grabs a pack of Nicorette gum. We see a sleeping bag, garbage bags full of clothes, and other signs she's living in her car. She slams the trunk shut. Exterior shelter, front door, late morning. Mars, white, very early 20s, androgynous and baby-faced, psychs herself up.
I am calm and confident. Calm and confident. Calm and confident.
She pats down her crew cut and tugs on her sweater vest. Deep breath, big smile. This is her moment. She knocks. The door flies open.
Hi,
Ah, shit. Denise, it's another Jehovah Witness.
He slams the door. Mars hesitates. She knocks again, quietly. Interior common area moments later. Roz, Tyler, and Patrick play a card game at the table as Wolfgang reads on the couch. Jerry folds his laundry. He moves suspiciously slowly.
You need any help, Jared?
No, I got it.
Denise enters with Mars.
Everyone, I want you to meet Mars. She's our new case manager.
Beat. Patrick and Tyler burst out laughing. Wolfgang scoffs and goes back to his book. Jerry waves.
Enough, gentlemen.
Yeah, settle down, guys.
She gives Denise an "Are you fucking kidding me" look.
Why are you dressed like Mr. Rogers?
You know, not the aesthetic I was going for, but I'll take it.
Right.
Hi, I'm Jerry. Do you like wizards?
Go back.
Jerry picks up his clothes and heads upstairs. Denise leads Roz and Mars to the office.
I do actually like lizards.
Cool. Maybe you should work at the zoo.
Haha, very funny, Roz. Mars, I have to take some personal stuff. I have to take off for some personal stuff. Until your background check clears, you can't be alone with a kid. So think of yourself as Roz's shadow. She's our most experienced youth counselor, and she can answer any and all questions you have.
Oh, awesome. I can't wait to pick your brain about, well, everything.
Excited to hear how it goes. I'm sure you guys will get along great.
Denise grabs her purse from the office and heads towards the front door.
One sec.
Roz follows Denise out the door. Mars looks around awkwardly, then sits next to Wolfgang.
What you reading?
War and Peace.
What's it about?
War and Peace.
Mars goes to ask another question, but Wolfgang turns away. Exterior front yard moments later. Roz catches up with Denise.
Are you serious? We can't do better than Dookie Howser, MSW. The kids won't listen to her.
The kids won't or you won't?
That's not what this is about.
Good, because I'm counting on you to help her out. If we can't keep this place staffed, we're going to lose our license.
There's gotta be someone who doesn't order off the kids' menu.
When you bring me qualified individuals willing to work for minimum wage, I'll hire them. But until then, train her.
Denise heads to her car, leaving Roz dumbstruck. Interior kitchen moments later. Roz re-enters to find Mars twiddling her thumbs.
Right. Let's do this. Staff office, kitchen, laundry room, girls' side, boys' side. Got it?
Roz hands Mars a giant ring of keys.
Bathroom, office, front door, knife drawer.
There's a knife drawer?
Yep. Gotta keep them locked up so they don't stab each other. I'm kidding. It's a licensing requirement. But also they might stab each other. So.
Wham! Mars jumps about a foot in the air. Roz, unfazed, looks toward the sliding glass door where Cersei, 16, goth, presses her head against the glass in a silent scream.
Help! Please, they're after me! Oh my god, oh my god!
Cersei slides down, leaving a trail of makeup smudges and fingerprints all down the glass.
You're cleaning that.
Interior staff office a little later. Roz looks through Cersei's backpack. Cersei stares at Mars, who is trying unsuccessfully to look casual.
So you want to tell me where you were?
Satanic orgy, but don't worry, we used condoms.
Well, as long as you're being safe.
Roz sets down the backpack.
All right, pocket check.
Cersei empties her pocket. She pulls out a vape pen, which Roz grabs.
It's nicotine!
And you're 16.
Who is she?
That's Mars. She's new.
Does she talk?
Yes, I can.
Why is she dressed like an athlete?
I was actually more of a Model UN kid.
Let's keep the focus on you, shall we? No breaks, no passes to go out, and no Wi-Fi for the next week.
No big. I've got a hotspot anyway. Anything else?
You can keep taking off. You can't keep taking off on these midnight adventures. You could lose your spot here.
Cersei scoffs and crosses her arms. She's trying to look aloof, but is clearly hurt.
Hey, this isn't a threat. We want you here, and I think you want to be here. So show up for yourself. Plus, no runs for a week, and I'll let you pick the next outing.
Oregon Farm it is. Well, this has been fun. Glad we had this little chat.
Cersei goes to leave.
Wait, one more thing.
Cersei turns around.
I'm really glad you're back.
Cersei gives Roz an embarrassed smile and heads out the door.
Come on, let's go set up for Jerry's party. Party?
Interior kitchen day. A lopsided banner saying, "We'll miss you, Jerry," hangs above the kitchen table where Jerry opens presents. Cersei hands Jerry an envelope.
I drew it myself.
Jerry pulls out a card, decorated in gel pen with demonic lizards and pentagrams. Jerry opens it, but shuts it quickly.
Thanks, you guys.
Jerry smiles, but his eyes begin to water.
And now for my cake.
The phone rings.
I'll get it.
Mars exits. Patrick sets down the ugliest cake you've ever seen.
You don't even bother with those opposable thumbs, do you?
Blow me.
Be nice, guys.
How do you know we're not being nice?
Your mouths are moving.
Roz hands Jerry a spatula.
You want to do the honors?
Mars comes back in.
That was Jerry's mom. She has to stay late at work, so she's going to be a few hours late.
All the joy is sucked out of the room.
Is she still coming?
Of course. You just got held up. She'll be here.
Jerry throws down the spatula and runs upstairs. Tyler goes to run after him, but Roz stops him.
Just give him a minute. Let him get some air.
Wow. You suck at this.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize that would be a big deal.
Well, it was.
Roz walks.
Don't worry, if he commits suicide, this will be like the third or fourth reason.
The neighbors across the street have a new puppy. You wanna go kick him too?
Mars sinks in her seat. Interior Jerry's room a little later. Jerry furiously unpacks his suitcase. Roz knocks at the door.
Hey, bud. Can I come in?
I'm not
Jerry
going.
Jerry doesn't answer. Roz enters and sits down on the bed.
I'm not going.
I know you're scared. Your mom has made mistakes, but she loves you, and she's ready for you to come home. We'd never send you anywhere where we didn't think you'd be safe.
But I like it here.
We like you too, a lot. But we're a shelter, not a home. And that's what you deserve. Does that make sense?
Jerry nods.
Okay, I'll give you a few minutes to repack, and then let's eat some cake, okay?
Interior common area a little later. Roz exits from the office, followed by Mars, who carries a stack of binders. The kids watch TV.
Read through all of these, and when you're done, I'll show you what the exit paperwork looks like.
She looks at her watch.
I'm gonna go see if Jerry's ready to come down.
Ross?
What's up?
Patrick points out the window. Roz looks out and sees Jerry climbing up a tree in the neighbor's yard.
Oh, damn it!
Do we still have cake?
Exterior backyard a little later. Roz, Mars, and the kids stand beneath the tree looking at Jerry.
Okay, show's over. Everybody inside.
The kids head for the house. Mars lingers.
You too.
Roz shoos Mars away. Angle on Tyler, Wolfgang, Patrick, and Cersei walk back toward the house. Mars jogs to catch up.
Why doesn't she just go up there and grab it?
Don't let out to touch us, dumbass. It's not jail.
But we can touch you.
Sorry, some of us haven't been institutionalized since we were 5.
Are you trying to start a fight with me?
Make out, make out.
Mars looks at the boys, knowing she should do something to defuse this situation. She opens her mouth to redirect. The kids stare at her. This scenario was not covered in the training manual.
Anybody want to make lanyards?
Back to Roz and Jerry.
All right, very funny, Jerry. Why don't you come on down?
I can't.
Yes, you can. Just climb on down the same way you went up.
I can't do that, Ross.
Jerry, I know you're upset, but I need you to get down here. It's not safe, and if Mr. Swanson sees you up there, he's going to have a conniption.
What's a conniption?
It's like a fit. No, doesn't matter. Just please get down here.
I'm sorry, Ross. I'm not moving.
I know you're scared to go home, Jer, but this is not the answer. You can't just run away from your problems.
I didn't run. I climbed.
Jer Bear, I'm serious. Get down here.
Rosie Bear, I'm serious. No.
Roz kicks the dirt. She's out of options.
If you don't come down, I'm gonna have to call the police.
Well, I heard you tell Denise all cops are bastards.
We've got to get thicker walls on that office.
Roz looks over and sees Mars and the kids staring at her from the window. They avert their gaze and fail to look casual. Interior common area a little later. Cersei and Patrick sit down on either side of Mars, barely concealing their impish grins. Wolfgang listens on from the kitchen table. Tyler continues to watch Roz from the window.
How old are you?
23.
Where are you from?
Here,
What's your sign?
Gemini.
Do you smoke pot?
That's a yes.
Are you married?
No.
Do you have a boyfriend?
No.
She's gay.
How?
Knew it.
Hold on.
Do you have a girlfriend?
No.
When did you lose your virginity?
I don't think that's appropriate.
Have you never?
If you want me to tell you how it works, I can.
Gay virgin.
No, I'm not a virgin.
Thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing, Mars.
Mars looks up to see Roz standing in the sliding glass door.
I'm going to grab the boys some bus passes. Try not to share any more details of your sex life while I'm gone.
But
Roz is already gone. Interior front door day. Roz hands out gift cards to Tyler and Patrick.
Be back by 6.
Tyler looks over Roz's shoulder toward Jerry.
He'll be fine.
Tyler shrugs and heads out the door. Roz hands Patrick a bus ticket.
Here's a bus pass. Tyler can show you how it works.
Patrick doesn't move.
I can take you tomorrow if you want to wait.
No, I don't want to start school with this hair.
Roz reaches out to put a hand on his shoulder, then pulls it back.
I'm sorry, bud. I really am.
Come on, dingus, hurry up.
Patrick shuffles out the door. Interior family therapist's office day. Denise and Amber, 14, who would rather die than be here, sit on opposite sides of a couch in a softly lit waiting room. Posters say things like, "Sometimes it's okay not to be okay. Okay?" A white noise machine plays sounds of a babbling brook. Denise flips through a Psychology Today. Amber looks at her phone. She pops her gum. Denise turns the page. Pop, crack.
Would you stop that?
Amber snarls. Denise turns back to her magazine. Beat. Amber knocks the white noise machine off the table. Exterior bus stop day. Tyler and Patrick get off the bus.
Tyler! Yo, Tyler!
Tyler looks around and sees Bart, 17, white, confident, and attractive, despite the crusted over meth sores on his cheeks.
Bart?
Bart and Tyler give each other a bro hug.
When did you get out?
Last week. Looks like you're eating well.
Better than yours, scrawny tweaker ass.
Who's this chick?
It's Patrick. He lives at the center with me.
Bart looks Patrick up and down.
Okay. What are you doing here?
I gotta pick up some clothes for court tomorrow.
I'll come with. Clearly I can't let you dress yourself.
Bart and Tyler walk off, still razzing each other. Patrick follows behind, not too happy with their new companion. Interior common area day. Mars and Cersei make friendship bracelets at the kitchen table.
Anyway, so that's the story of how I discovered I'm allergic to tree nuts.
Wow. Crazy.
I know, right? There were so many. Hey, this is a lot of fun.
She beams and hands Cersei an orange bracelet. It spells out Cersei in beads.
Aw, thank you.
She hands Mars a black bracelet. It says Ted Star Bundy.
Oh,
You don't like it?
no, it's great. So unique.
Cersei looks at her expectantly. Mars hesitates, then slips it on with a forced smile. Cersei's face falls.
I know I can be a bit obsessed with the macabre. I know people think it's weird.
No. You are great. Just the way you are.
You know, I think it all started when I found out my dad was a serial killer.
What?
Yeah, he's been in jail for the last 2 years, and after that, my mom went nuts and joined the cult, but you don't want to hear about that.
No, I do. You can talk to me about anything.
Cersei grins. Exterior backyard day. Roz stands under the tree. Mars exits from the back door.
Hey, Roz, can I talk to you real quick?
Yep.
Roz walks over and they continue to talk in hushed tones. Jerry leans out of the tree to try and listen.
So, I was talking to Cersei, and she told me some stuff that I thought we should report.
What'd she say?
She said her boyfriend's in a gang, her dad's in jail for murder, and her mom and her sister are living up with this cult on a farm up north.
Yeah, that's the plot to Riverdale.
The TV show?
It really went off the rails in season 2.
She cried when she told me she was visiting her dad in prison.
Well, that part's true, but it was only attempted murder.
Interior department store afternoon. Tyler and Bart look at ties. Patrick lingers nearby.
How about a bow tie?
How about you go fuck yourself?
Then what would your mom do?
Tyler gives Bart a playful shove.
Hey, be cool.
Bart eyes a clerk who is looking at them from the cash register.
Here.
Bart throws him a tie. Tyler looks at the price tag. It's $30, but it might as well be $300.
$30? Who buys this shit?
Bart scans the ceiling for cameras.
Just put it in your pocket.
Tyler holds the tie and seems to debate taking it, then puts it back.
It's not worth it, man. I'm only gonna wear it once anyway.
You guys almost done?
What's your problem?
I'm supposed to get my hair cut.
So, go. Let's go to Green Lake after this. Vicky's there with her cousin.
What about my haircut?
Dude, are you on repeat?
I can't today. Look, why don't you go ahead and I'll meet you there in a few.
Tyler picks up a tie and heads for the register. Patrick shuffles away. When their backs are turned, Bart pockets the $30 tie. Interior department store a little later. Tyler and Bart walk toward the exit. Bart walks through the security gate first. An alarm goes off and a white security guard steps in front of Tyler. Whoa there, let me see your bag.
But what the hell? I paid for my stuff.
It's cool, man. Just let him see.
No, this is bullshit.
They probably just missed the tag. Let me take a quick look. Other customers start to take notice as Tyler goes red. He hands his shopping bag over. The security guard searches it and hands it back. Now let me see your backpack.
No, you can't do that.
Listen, buddy, you can hand it over, I can call the cops, your choice.
It's okay, sir. We know you're just doing your job. Come on, man. Just show him so we can get out of here.
Tyler hands over his backpack. The security guard pulls out the contents, a ratty sweatshirt, candy wrappers, a bus pass. Bart inches backwards. All right, now let me check your pockets.
What?
Just a quick pat down and you're good to go. The security guard gestures for Tyler to put his arms up. Tyler reluctantly complies. Sorry, man, just doing my job.
Whatever, man. Can I go now?
Yes. Now you.
About that.
Bart makes a break for it. Tyler grabs his bag and runs after him, his belongings still scattered on the floor. End of selection.
Do you want to go first or you want me to?
I want you to go first.
Well, I have an advantage too because I read it, obviously, and chose it. What I really liked about this was it's in a world that I don't see very often, and that's fun because there are like 3 worlds that I see a lot in the reading. Probably more than 3, maybe 4. So I really like the world and I really like the characters, and that was what was attractive to me. And so nice job. Everybody seemed to sort of feel like they were fleshed out and that they were people. And so where I think the challenge is for the moving forward is, what's fun is that I get to read it and then I get to hear it, and I try to sort of forget everything I've read and then just listen. And listening to it, it was like a whole bunch of characters, and they were it felt like to me they were in search of a story. Like what, with 30 pages, right? It's 1 hour, it'll be 1 hour?
Yeah.
So we're 30 pages in, and if you think about, from a plot point of view, We have Jerry going but not going. We have the new Mars starting. And then sort of whatever's going on in the mall. But that a lot of it seems like sort of regular business in the house, and that you're spending a great deal of time giving us really interesting detail. Start to get into like drama, or and that's the next question, was tone-wise. It seemed to be much better when it was funny, and then it would sort of veer off into just straight exposition of stuff happening. You know, people eating pancakes, or people going here, or people doing this, or people talking about what they were doing next, and that sort of logistics talk. And so there were a few times when like a scene would end with a line where it's like, and I'm sitting there thinking, oh, that line could be really stronger. And there was sort of the other thing that I tell people constantly is is to try and treat every line of dialogue like it's precious and important, and that your pilot is like a piece of like I like to say it's like a piece of precious real estate, and that every word and every scene has to sort of justify its place. And so, and then when you're looking at that, it's like, when you're looking at every scene, it's like, okay, why is this scene here? And normally it serves one of two purposes. One is it either provides something, reveals something new about a character, or moves the story along. And so when you're writing the pilot, if you can't justify, if it's not doing one of those two things, then why is it there? So then you boil down to the dialogue, and it's like, okay, every line, what am I saying to the audience? What information am I delivering to the audience with every line that these people are saying, especially when this is the first time we've met them? Because we are all listening like, okay, who is this person? So for example, the boys got caught, they were great, but then they got caught only ever talking about this sort of, their conversations were very similar. We didn't get a lot of sort of expansion in their characters. A little bit once we got to the mall, and we had Tyler, who didn't steal the tie. That was a revelatory moment, but we didn't get a lot of those. And when you have a full 30 pages, there's plenty of opportunities for you to kind of just fiddle with the dialogue and give us a lot more about who they are, so that we can kind of connect, and then give them a little bit more to do. And then just one little thing, you use the mother joke twice, and you know the Bart said it as well as Tyler. So it worked the first time, and then when you come back around again, it's like, I would urge you to come up with another line for him, because there are plenty of insults a teenage boys can throw at one another the whole time. We can help you out with that at the end. So it's really just like giving us, like, you've set up the world, you've set up the characters, now it's like, okay, I have a pilot, I have 60-something pages, or not even that, to really engage the audience and have us come back next week. So trust that you know the world and you've set it up really fast, and that we're like, okay, this is really interesting, and Roz might be living in her car, but that's sort of ignored. You know? And I mean, not Roz. Yeah, it is Roz. Yeah. And then Denise sort of wanders in and then wanders out, and she has the daughter, and I know, I'm assuming that's going to pay off at the end. But it just sort of, it would be great if you could sort of dive into more of the story a lot quicker for me. Again, because you will probably back it up. There are, everybody we've had sitting in this chair says that they have about 50 scripts they should be reading every week. Every week. And so getting them to sit down and read 30 pages is great. And you just want to make sure that those 30 pages are really showing off everything you can do. That doesn't mean aliens come down and the house burns down and there's a shootout and all that kind of crap. No, you've got a world. It's just really think about every single moment from a point of view as what am I revealing to the reader that they don't know? How am I showcasing how funny I can be, or what the tone is going to be? Just what this show is, rather than sort of getting lost in some conversations that you could probably cut and we would not miss it. That was mine. I talked too long, I'm sorry.
No,
after you.
Well, I mean, I also will say that, like, one of the hardest things, I think, when you are writing a pilot and then for us reading it, is to feel as though every character is differentiated, that there's something about them that's special, that stands out, and that they have a voice. So I definitely will compliment you guys that I feel like there was a nice range of people. There were people, I felt like everyone had a point of view and had something distinct and interesting to say at different points, which is again, there are lots of very accomplished writers that I find that I'm like, do like to give them some sort of character definition. Shits and giggles. What I will say, and this is not having read the whole script, I got to that point and thought, I guess my question would be, and this is a bigger question, but like, what do you want the series to be about, and what do you want the first season to be about? I know that feels like huge, but I'm sure you've had these conversations. And then exactly what Tim is talking about, there is an artful way to front load things that give you those stakes, because what you're looking for is setting up the things that these characters care about so that we care about them. And then the best version of it, you give me a little taste of it, and please, 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 for the love of God, not have it be a flashback to like, we start here and then flashback to 2 days before, because I've also read that pilot 9,000 times. But like, and by the way, it's effective, and I've also shot pilots that start that way, so whatever. But I really think that the idea for the viewer, for the reader, as you're getting into it, is okay. I get the world, I get the sense of the world and and that is great, and the sense of place. But why now? And I ask this of people a lot, but why are we starting right now? What just happened off screen or is about to happen? Why are we jumping into their world right now? And what is going to change at the beginning of the pilot to the end of the pilot? Like, and whether that's emotional or physical, or someone is going to die, or how do you point to that in the first 10 pages? And I know that everybody will talk to you about the first 10 pages of your pilot, and it's a little repetitive, but it's not just about executives reading your script. It's once you get to the television show, there's a reason why CSI worked for so many episodes. Like, you turn on and there's a dead body, you're like, who did it? Who killed that guy? And you're instantly in on something in a way that is very relatable. Everybody understands this is murder, there's high stakes. So when you're writing a character drama, please don't put a murder at the beginning either. But when you're writing a character drama, giving those stakes instantly, and I'm literally in my head, I'm trying to think back to the beginning of Succession, which just for reference point of that is a show that if someone came in and pitched me that show, I'd be like, that's a little concept. I don't know how you can pilot it. No one will watch that.
Didn't the dad have a heart attack or something in the pilot?
Yes, exactly. So he literally, you set up instantly that there's these people that are revolving around him. They all want the job. They all want something, and he has a heart attack, and we think he's dying. That happens at the end of the pilot. But I think at the beginning, it's Kendall thinks that he's going to get the job, and instantly finds out it's not going to happen. So again, it's thinking about what is your series about, and then what are you what's the first long arc story that you're trying to tell, which is that first season, and how can you get to the best ending point by the ending of your pilot to tell it? And I think that's basically what you were saying as well.
And you would argue, I'm going to get inside your head right now, you're going to argue that the beginning point is Mars's first day and Jerry going home. This is the wine hours, I think, is what you're thinking?
Yeah.
Is my guess?
Less Jerry.
Less Jerry?
Yeah.
Or Mars's first day, and that Mars is the character that leads us in, and how we learn everything as we watch her grapple with everything, is sort of your way into the series, is my guess.
The Roz-Mars relationship is the arc of the first season, them hating each other and then becoming friends.
Well, look, if I was giving you advice, which I am, I wouldn't be afraid, and I again, this is going to sound really weird, but I wouldn't be, I would have a crack at a draft where you raise everything into a state that makes you uncomfortable drama-wise. It's because there was no sense that Mars and Roz really hated each other, or that Roz really hated much of anything. She was very pleasant. And because she's trying to do a job, she came across as hardworking, frustrated, but a decent human being.
Right.
And she didn't didn't feel like a lot of hate in her about anything. She was annoyed that Mars was there and it wasn't her job. But the reason why Mars was there was so obvious, and she couldn't overcome it. It wasn't we came down to you and this other girl, but she had prettier hair, and she's the boss's, she's the daughter of the county commissioner, so she got the gig. But no, she has a degree, you don't. So what's Roz is really trapped there. There's nothing she can do to sort of do that. To sort of, she hasn't been screwed over really to our eyes. So
Cool, that's really good to hear you.
So I would say I would have a crack at a draft where you raise everybody's stakes, where like the boys are not just sort of playful banter. There's something going on there, and there's the Roz is really trying to undermine, like she's doing something mean, or Mars, we really didn't get a sense of her at all, apart from that she was sort of very nervous. Give her something to do, and you can weave a lot of those and raise that whole. So that house is like a much more vibrant, tense. There's a whole bunch going on kind of house. You could do that really fast.
Yeah. And I wouldn't feel like I can also. I'm gonna now put myself in your head. It doesn't change the tone. I really promise that the humor actually will stand out more when the drama and the stakes feel even more heightened and real. And and again, you're dealing with teens that are in a really shitty situation and have seen probably a lot, so giving that window into that quickly, and I mean, Gallows humor is my favorite, so it is very relatable. It makes people understand that, so you don't have to be deep and depressing and or really heightened and big. It's just go with the fact that these kids have seen some really terrible shit, and probably terrible shit is still going on in this moment. And I think obviously you've got Roz, who has that same background and has that ability to relate, but also a responsibility to not relate. So I think it's giving her that tension, and then giving the tension between Mars and Roz in this. I agree. It's like you want to set it up where you also you're rooting for something to change with Roz, and you're rooting for, and we need to see that there's a path to that. And I think right now it's just it's a roadblock. There's not a, is she going to school? Is she and don't go, you don't want to go into that. It's just set up a thing that is a bar that she could potentially cross, and a threshold, and there's some emotional stakes that have stopped her from getting there. Something that you're going to overcome as you change her character through the first season. Something like that gives you.
It'd be great if she got in her own way or something like that.
Yeah.
To some degree. Not just the system was just keeping her in a spot that she can't emerge from. Because then you're not giving her anywhere to go.
Right.
So, anyway, we've crapped on. But I mean, it's, the great news is because I like to leave with the positive. The great news is the real challenge for a lot of the scripts that I read, and I'm hoping you will agree, is characters. So many writers nowadays gets really obsessed with story. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but if the story can be the greatest story ever told, if there are people in it we don't give a shit about or don't know anything about, it doesn't really matter. It just sort of lies there. And you've got great characters. So you're ahead of the game. So now it's just giving them something that's really compelling for us to kind of really be like, oh, okay, this is the show. Yeah?
No, definitely. I mean, it's... I said this to writers today that we're talking about writing the second episode, and the first episode is the hardest. Mm-hmm. You have so much hype to lay. You have so much work to do in defining these people. You guys have done that in a way, and you know who they are in your head. So now just give them a more dynamic playground to play in, and I think you will get people more engaged quicker.
Totally.
Cool.
Right.
Awesome.
Yes.
On that note right there, the more dynamic playground, right? I love the world that you guys have created, these misfit characters, these underdogs that we all can relate to. It reminds me of Shameless, right? All these weirdos, and you're like, what are they going to do next? But I kept thinking, in the beginning, I ran with it, and then at a certain point, I kept feeling like there was going to be this central escalation, this thing that happens that brings out the characters even more and how they relate to it. So when Jerry goes up the tree, I really thought he was going to fall out of the tree. He was either going to die or at least break something, and how everybody related to that and how they reacted to that was going to reveal their characters as opposed to a lot of maybe the dialogue that you had going on. So something, I kept just waiting for that thing. What was that thing? What was that, that escalation that was really going to make it jump off the page even more? Because I love the characters, and I want to go on the journey with them. I want to see where they go.
Fair point. All right.
Yeah, because when I found out that Jerry was going home, I was thinking a lot. It made me feel a lot about how do all the other kids feel? like what is happening in that house because it's the day that Jerry's going home, and then what does it mean for Roz who's coming into that day, which I'm assuming for in her mind is also it's the day that Jerry's going home. There's some sort of relationship probably there, and then to find out like wait a minute, there's a new person, right? And then waiting for the ball to drop of like some like to that note, the note you had about a moment in which she suddenly just doesn't have the tools to deal with some moment that drops, but that the new girl has, and like what that means in that moment. But I was thinking a lot about that, because there's a great way to reveal what all the other kids are like on the day that one of the boys is going home, or supposed to go home.
Yeah. Yeah, everything they do reveals something more about their characters to us, and that's all we want, is when you have shit happen, how they react to it is very insightful. It's a great opportunity. So,
yeah, I just want to say I love all the characters a lot. I mean, but everything I wanted to say, you guys said. So I'll just, but really, the characters were hysterical. They were funny. They were well defined. I think they all had terrifically different POVs, and it was fun to see them banter off each other. But I felt as though there was a lot of this and then this and then this, rather than this, but this, but this. It was a little bit less cause and effect that I was hoping for. It was like, I don't want to say it was episodic because it is episodic, but it felt like it was like a series of quick episodes versus it wasn't building to something, and this is what you guys have said, so I'm just repeating. But I certainly would like to have seen a little bit more setup and payoff in that first 30 pages. Again, I hope this gets aired and made. It was great.
Yes.
Hi. Hi. Very true. Just piggybacking on what they were saying, as far as Jerry, for me, it felt like the A story for those 30 pages was. I feel like Jerry was the heart of that shelter, and I felt like he was like the youngest one. Like everybody cared about him. Like he was the one that kind of brought the joy with the lizard and like the happiness and whatnot. And I just felt like that kind of got a little put to the side a little bit, and especially with Ross, right? I just feel like that those little moments when she was by the tree trying to talk to him, it just felt like there were just like one-liners instead of I was kind of waiting for a moment where they both would have had a moment together, or maybe falling off the tree or something, and that affected everybody. But like I was really kind of hoping for a moment for the two of them, and because like he was leaving, because it seemed like he lost, like he was waiting for his mother, or he was, or I don't know, was he getting adopted, or I don't know what the.
He was getting reunited with his mother.
But she was late and she wasn't showing up, so like something's wrong with her, she's having issues, or her backstory or something. I don't know, but anyways, my thing is like it seemed like he felt safe there. And he didn't want to leave, and I just felt like there was a moment where I could have felt that within those 30 pages or something.
Yeah. But I was just going to say, building off that, it felt to me like the conflict was going to a place where Mars would sort of have to realize, oh, there's a lot to learn about doing this job, and Ross has a way with these kids that other people don't, and it's not something that they teach you in school. It's like this real world experience thing. So when we had that scene in the tree, it felt like that's the storyline that we were building to, that was then kind of blossomed for the rest of the thing. But then we kind of went to the department store and went in a different direction. But that was I was really excited to like get into that vein of the story, if that's where it was going. It seemed like a rich vein.
You know what popped into my head? MASH.
Yeah.
You know, when a new character arrives in MASH and they're like, oh, I'm in the military, I'm trained, and I know all this, and then they get to the 4077 and it's a clusterfuck.
Yeah.
And everybody's being an idiot, and there are no rules, and then a whole bunch of wounded people come in, and you see these people are like the best. And it was like, well, that, because the other thing I'm going to say, and then we'll move on. I know in my writing, one of my issues was that I was too nice to my characters. Mm-hmm. Especially, I know that it comes from, because you worked in this kind of place, right? Yeah. So this comes from personal experience. And I know that one of the challenges when you're writing about something that you have intimate knowledge of is that sometimes you go easy on the characters. Yeah. And I would urge you not to do that.
One thing just to think about, and it's really just because I do hate when people insert false stakes into things, and you're just like, oh God, it doesn't need to be this. there's a world where this lives as a half-hour dramedy.
Mhm.
And I don't mean dramedy in the like CW kind of way. I really do think there's something, you should always examine how much story you need in order to tell the story you want to tell. And when you are really examining characters, it doesn't mean that you don't have to have inciting incidents and stakes and drama. I think it allows you the opportunity to say, okay, in this bit, you allow the character's arc to lead versus the plot. And it may still be an hour long when you get to the end of it, but just thinking about it that way may make you think about what is the story that you really want to tell, and how do you crystallize that and distill it to like its essence in that first episode.
Awesome. Anything you want to say? Any questions, thoughts?
No.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for being here.
Have
Thank
you-
you to the actors.
have
Oh
you
my
heard-
god, you guys are great. Our first draft
Okay.
when we had a table read.
Oh, right, that's right. With other
Um,
writers reading, and writers suck at reading.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's thank Mads and Kristen.